Hello, I'm Hunter Schultz. I'm the executive producer and a host of Winning Healthcare Food Fights. Welcome to our Masterclass for better video consults. For physicians, I'll share a few things you're probably doing wrong right now and how to correct them. One is a critical on-camera rule, and you won't likely find it on YouTube other than here. To that end, we're going to make you more optically and vocally inviting. In March 2020, we switched to a video format, and as you can see, we've come a long way since then. I've interviewed many physicians, and being keen observers, they noticed my eyes rarely left the camera. It's tough not looking at the screen during a video call. They'd ask me about it. So much so, we created this episode about our hacks and what we've learned. YouTube U has hundreds of videos on improving production quality for gamers and content creators like us. But what we do in the studio or gamers on Twitch isn't what you need. In fact, many will send you in the wrong direction. Video consults are different. Over the last year or so, COVID-19 forced many changes to your consults. Video consults, easy access, amazed patients. No need for an office visit. So far, they're just happy to see you and receive medical attention. Call quality isn't a big deal, yet. The odds are high you'll be doing more video consults in the future. Patients love the convenient, fast access, and that isn't going away after COVID-19. Higher expectations are looming because people are used to high definition or even 4K TVs. A friend of mine is lab testing an 8K TV at my local cable TV company. Soon, patients will compare your video quality to their regular programming. That's maybe not fair, but it's true. In this masterclass, I'll start with the big three: cameras, lighting, and sound. Then I'll fill you in on the interview hacks I've found in the last year or so. I'll wrap up with some additional gear, some stagecraft items to make this as easy as possible. We've linked the equipment and the software needed in the description below, and it's on our website. Invest in a good camera. Forget your laptop webcam. Most aren't that good. Even recent MacBooks can't match a standalone webcam. There's another reason, though. The camera's position on your laptop means you're looking down at the camera. Aside from the glorious visual of looking up your nose, viewers may receive a subtle message: you're looking down on them. I started with a Logitech 920, C920. Even though it's an older design, it's HD quality, and back then it was affordable. Last year, I researched ways to improve image quality. With telework driving the webcam shortage, many videos suggested an old cell phone is a better alternative. I switched to an old iPhone 6S. It's far better than any webcam. However, I don't recommend using one in your practice. It requires turning the phone on, zooming in, and it's more complicated for setup. Complexity you don't need. There's another deal-breaking reason I'll get to shortly. Because it's easy, I still use my trusty C920 for regular video calls. For physicians, webcams are better. Just fire up Zoom, UpDocs, Doxy, or Skype with no worries about powering on the phone and dealing with settings. Webcams start without a fuss and you're off. There are two webcam options we're recommending for you. The Logitech Brio with 4K capability for those using more video in their work, such as social media posts. If I had to do it all over again, I'd have bought this one. At roughly $179 on Amazon, it's not cheap. However, if you're doing interviews and social media work, it's a far better option. The image is superb right out of the box. If you don't plan on doing a lot of media or video production work, Logitech C922X ProStream is your best buddy. This is an updated C920 model, and it's the best option for the money at about $99. It'll work fine with patient consults, normal video calls, and for occasional media interviews. However, it may need some initial adjustments to make it look good. Logitech has software you must install to get the best out of the 922 or fine-tune the Brio. Lighting is an art. Hollywood doesn't use lights, camera, action for nothing. With a lot of research, I've learned ways to keep it simple while creating an optically inviting look without spending a fortune. Here's a little secret. Call a local lighting store and ask if they have someone knowledgeable about video or photography studio lighting. Before going, you'll need to know a few more technical items to help them help you. If you hit Amazon, you'll have a better idea of what to order after this segment. Webcams perform better with brighter light. Some feature low light capability, even the Brio. But you need brighter light than you think because the webcam's video processing hardware does less work. That means a sharper, less grainy image. Your light's color temperature and quality are important too. We measure color temperature in Kelvin, or K for short. Sunlight at midday is 5500 K and looks bluish. 2800 K has a much warmer look, usually from older incandescent bulbs. You want warm and inviting for consults, so there's a balance at 3300 to 3500 K. Webcams automatically adjust for color temp but get confused with a mix of bulbs at different temps. Consistency is the key, very much like continuity of care. So if you set your video lighting at 3500 K, try to match it with your room lights. For lighting quality, the Color Rendering Index, or CRI, measures how well a bulb lights its subject. To keep it simple, you want a CRI of 80 or above. Over 90 is better. We light our show differently than you would for a consult. Though for this show, we went with a no shadow setup. Mounting an LED in front of you and near the camera creates the right effect. It's called a key light, and it should have specific features to make you look better. Oh, and for a lot of reasons, forget ring lights, especially if you wear glasses. This compact Viltrox key light is almost perfect for typical video work. You'll note it has a soft feature on the light's face. The technical term is diffusion. It makes you look better on camera. You can adjust the color temp and forget about it. Another excellent feature is adjustable brightness. For consistency, you want the lamp brighter than your ambient light level. If you're going to be doing media work, I suggest you use at least 2 of the Viltrox lights. One on either side creates a better effect. Absolutely use the AC power adapters with any lamp. That eliminates worrying about charging batteries. Beyond this, you're talking about a studio setup. We have a service to assist you with that while our check ride helps fine-tune your basic setup and on-screen presence. Here's a secret I discovered during my sound quality research. Audiences are more forgiving of poor video than poor sound. For my room acoustics, I looked at sound panels, moving pads, foam tiles, and even theater curtains. I had to reduce echo and reverberation in our home office / studio. All the options horrified my wife. If you're married, you know the look. I needed a temporary solution with minimal annoyance. While looking at other options, I found my new best buddy. It's a Shure lavalier wired mic. I happen to be wearing it right now. It's designed to pick up sound within a narrow pattern, and it's called a supercardioid pattern. That reduced echo and reverberation down to acceptable levels. Look around your workspace for flat surfaces, sound reflecting hard surfaces. Blank walls and tile floors are highly reflective. Adding some wall tapestries and an area rug or 2 helps reduce unwanted noise. Window curtains are better than blinds. Then we have feedback issues, where your speakers are too loud during a video call. Your viewer hears an echo effect. I use in-ear monitors now instead of headphones to prevent that. However, physicians have a more important sound issue besides quality. Not using speakers helps keep PHI private. That leaves you with earbuds or headsets. Some of this is personal preference. The key is the quality of the microphone. AirPod Pros are a superb choice for Apple users. Another option is the Jabra Elite 85T. Both have great noise-canceling mics. I suggest you make sure your computer has Bluetooth 5. If not, a simple Bluetooth adapter will provide consistent connectivity, better sound, and future-proofing. Take a hint from gamers. They play for hours on end, so their headsets must be lightweight and sound good, including the mic. At $50, it's hard to go wrong with the wired Razer Black Shark V2X. A wireless headset option is the SteelSeries Arctis One. Both are about ½ pound sitting on your head and highly rated for long-term comfort. Before our interviews, we always advise guests to look at their camera as much as possible, but it's very tough to do. It's only natural to want to look at the speaker, and so they look at the screen. Some guests ask why my eyes are glued to the camera. It's one hack I mentioned, and it's called a teleprompter. I use a Glide Gear TMP50. It's made of metal, and more important, it has optical quality glass. Commonly used by TV newscasters, it shows text in front of the camera using a mirror. The camera doesn't see the text, only the presenter sees it. However, instead of showing the text, I show my guest on the teleprompter. I'm always looking at their eyes, and that's what the viewer sees. You'll see things you'd otherwise miss with the eye bounces. It shows patients you're dialed into the conversation and reinforces the relationship. Now, we recommend a Glide Gear TMP 100. It's larger than mine, so you'll be looking at a larger image. To see the patient instead of the tablet Glide Gear shows, you use a small monitor up to 10 by 8 inches. The larger the better, so you can see your patient. A camera monitor is more user-friendly and less complex. The unit we picked has a remote control, very easy to turn on and off. There's very little to fiddle with, just set it up and go. A Windows PC and Macs have video settings to add another monitor. You may have to adjust the screen settings though, but most monitors have settings to flip the image to show it correctly on the mirror. However, and typically techie, some computers may only have one monitor port, especially laptops. Check your user manual, and if not, use a USB adapter such as these. On a console, slide your video software over to the camera monitor. You'll now see the image in the mirror. Adjust the window size so you see as much of the patient as needed. It takes a bit of practice, but it's not that hard and it's totally worth it. Here's another pro tip. If you need to make a longer recording or want more precision for social media videos, check out PromptSmart Pro. It's a traditional teleprompter program for putting text on the mirror. Its unique feature is voice tracking. If you stop speaking, it stops until you continue. We have a page on our website about this with instructions. Here's the link. Oh, that other cell phone deal breaker is actually two. First, teleprompters need a hood to keep light out from behind the glass. Fiddling with a cell phone when you really need to get on a call isn't workable for you, period. It's an issue even for us, and we have more prep time. Second, cell phones get hot when charging and using video, so airflow is important to prevent overheating. My iPhone is getting very hot during filming right now, but it's not on all the time. A hood lowers the airflow. Put in the webcam and forget it. Okay, let's start wrapping up with some hardware options, stagecraft insights, and one critical on-camera rule for docs. First, regardless of how it's mounted, the camera lens should be 1 or 2 inches higher than your eyes. Next, we recommend mounting the teleprompter to your desk using the hardware shown here. It eliminates clutter and makes the unit easy to deal with. The web page has more details on the hardware you should use depending on the webcam. Ideally, it should look like this, minus the mic and tripod. That looks kind of cool, right? Don't use Wi-Fi. Use a LAN cable. You can trace many video call quality issues to Wi-Fi. Some laptops don't have a wired internet connection, a LAN port. Use a USB dongle like this one. Trust my experience, Wi-Fi sucks for this. You want high speeds from your internet provider. That means download and upload. Most providers spotlight their download speeds because of streaming services like Netflix. But HD and 4K video calls, they're coming, require a higher upload speed. Here are 2 docs-only connectivity hacks. First, call your internet provider and ask if they have any special unadvertised services for medical doctors. Given telemedicine's crucial role now, maybe they'll install a fiber optic line at a reduced rate or offer other ways to keep your connection up and running with faster upload speeds. Second, I know from experience that some cell phone companies give special access privilege to certain numbers. They have more network priority in case of an emergency. First responders are one example. They'll require an appropriate medical license as proof of need. Hey, not asking is the same as a no. Ask anyway. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Spielberg. You want to be the right distance from the webcam. Try not relying on the zoom feature because it uses more processing power and reduces video quality. Set it and forget it. There's an additional benefit to sitting closer to the camera. You'll see your patient better. Those little things you'd otherwise miss from a distance, especially eyes and body language. Best practice for video consults requires having your shoulders and your entire face with a little room around you in the frame. This minimizes distractions, which leads me to say, always check your background. Less is more. When in doubt, take it out. Look for anything growing out of your head or otherwise distracting. I suggest not using background removal tools too. They're annoying if not done right, which means a real green screen and properly lighting it. You'll also need a more powerful computer. Minimize light sources behind you, including windows. They can throw off the camera's exposure setting, sort of like taking a photograph with the sun behind your subject. It's not a pretty picture, not a good look. If your office has a window facing a street, you'll want to use blinds or a curtain to minimize lights and shadows from crossing your face and distracting your patient. Controlled lighting is important. Test your setup by having a friend or colleague help. Start as if you're running into the office at the crack of dawn, turning on everything and doing a video call. How long does it take? What took too long? Aim for turning things on easily. Switches within easy reach. Have your old webcam as a backup. Place it as close as possible to your key light. Redundancy is a good thing. Wrapping up, here's that one critical on-camera rule for physicians, and one you probably won't see elsewhere on YouTube. Video consults are different, meaning you must be mindful of what your patients are seeing. Because of camera framing, patients won't see what your hands are doing. So as you take notes, You may look away from the camera. Patients may think you aren't paying attention, checking sports scores. It also detracts from the doctor-patient relationship, the patient trust factor. In-office consults are different. The patient can see you and know what you're doing. They have situational context. Before starting a consult, explain that you may take some notes requiring you to look away from the camera. Remind them occasionally of what you're doing. By the way, I ran across that while researching the VA's highly regarded telemental health program. I hope you've gained a new appreciation for this powerful care tool now at your disposal. Regardless of the platform, we know you're going to look and sound better for your patients. They'll notice the difference, and it's well worth the investment. Again, the website has more details and installation help. Email us if you need a little help and a check ride, or if you're ready to go full studio, we can help with that too. We appreciate you clicking or tapping that like button if you found this helpful. Thanks for watching, and please leave your comments below if you found better solutions. And there you are.